The millionaire froze mid-step, his expensive shoes planted firmly on the cafe floor. The cup shattered in his hand. Because the voice he had just heard was impossible. "Mom, can I have more sugar in my cocoa?" He hadn't heard that word spoken to her in 7 years. And the boy who said it had his eyes. Ethan Cole had built an empire from nothing. Tech companies, real estate, investments that moved markets with a single decision. His name was printed in magazines, his face recognized in airports, his success admired by millions. But none of that mattered in that moment. He had only stepped into the cafe to escape the rain and take a meeting call. It was supposed to be a forgettable stop. A few minutes. Coffee. Silence. Then he heard her laugh. Soft. Familiar. The laugh he once memorized in the dark. Ethan slowly turned. There she was. Lena. His ex-wife. She sat by the window, wearing a simple sweater, her hair tied back loosely, no makeup except the same tired warmth in her eyes. Across from her sat a little boy, maybe 6 years old, swinging his legs under the chair, chocolate smudged on his lips. And then the word came again. Mom. Ethan's chest tightened like a fist had closed around his heart. He told himself it couldn't mean anything. She might have remarried. Adopted. Babysitting. Anything but the thought clawing its way up his spine. But then the boy looked up. Same dark eyes. Same small scar on the eyebrow. The exact tilt of the head Ethan saw every morning in the mirror. His knees weakened. Lena sensed something and looked up. Their eyes met. Color drained from her face. The cafe noise faded. The rain outside felt distant. Years collapsed into seconds. She stood abruptly. Ethan, you shouldn't be here. His voice came out hoarse. Who is he? The boy looked between them. Mom. Who's that man? Lena swallowed hard. Finish your cocoa, sweetheart, she said gently. I need to talk. Ethan followed her outside into the rain, his tailored coat soaking, his wealth meaningless. You told me you couldn't have children, he said, barely above a whisper. Her eyes filled. I didn't lie. Then how do you explain him? She closed her eyes. The night you left, she said, voice trembling, I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks later. Ethan felt the world tilt. You never told me. You were already gone, she said, tears spilling now. You chose your company over us. Over me. And when I tried to reach you, your assistant said you didn't want to be disturbed. Silence roared between them. He's yours, she continued. His name is Noah. Inside the cafe, Noah pressed his face to the glass, watching them. Ethan's hands shook. All his success. All his power. And he had missed 6 years of his son's life. Ethan didn't sleep that night. He sat in his penthouse staring at a photo Lena had sent him, a picture of Noah sleeping, clutching a worn-out stuffed bear. The next morning, he followed them. Not to spy, but to understand. Lena lived in a modest apartment above a laundromat. She worked 2 jobs. One at the cafe. One cleaning offices at night. Ethan watched from his car as she carried groceries, Noah's small hand wrapped around her finger. Then he noticed the bracelet again. At the hospital. Noah had a heart condition. Congenital. Costly. Dangerous. Ethan felt physically ill. I wanted to tell you, Lena said later, sitting across from him in a quiet park. But every article about you talked about growth, profits, deals. I didn't want to be another burden. I should have been there, Ethan said, his voice breaking for the first time in years. Yes, she replied. You should have. The words hurt more than any loss he'd ever suffered. Ethan didn't try to buy forgiveness. He didn't offer money first. He showed up. Doctor visits. School pickup. Homework at the kitchen table where he had no idea what he was doing. Noah was shy at first, suspicious of the men who suddenly wanted to be part of his life. One evening, Noah finally asked, Are you going to disappear too? Ethan knelt down. No. Even if you get mad at me. Even if I mess up. Noah nodded slowly. Okay. The surgery was scheduled 3 months later. Ethan moved mountains quietly. Best doctors. Best care. No headlines. No press. The night before the operation, Noah squeezed his hand. Dad, he said softly. Mom says you used to be very busy. Ethan swallowed. I was. Are you still busy? Not anymore, Ethan replied. I finally learned what matters. The surgery was a success. When Noah woke up, Lena broke down in tears. Ethan held her, not as a billionaire, not as an ex-husband, but as a man who had finally taken responsibility. Months later, they returned to the same cafe. This time, Ethan wasn't rushing. Noah ran ahead, laughing. Lena smiled at Ethan, a smile cautious but real. You didn't just come back, she said. You stayed. Ethan nodded. I lost years. I won't lose another second.